When we're doing calf raises, we want to think about not just going through the motions, but what is our goal with the exercise? When we are walking, we want to think about that we need a rigid midfoot, a stable foundation for you to then push off of. If you're unable to supinate and create an arch for yourself so that you're just rolled in, when you go to press off, you're not going to get a nice push off. So what we can do is we can add some external feedback to a calf raise to help get an isometric arch contraction while dynamically working your calves. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this band and you're going to put it around your ankle. So I've made a little 8 here with it because I've crossed it. And then we're going to come to a wall. I'm going to show you a couple different angles. So first, we can either think about doing a calf raise straight up and down like this. This is going to be a little bit more challenging because we're directly against gravity. That can be great for this feedback of, oh, let me really make sure that I'm lifting straight up and then straight down rather than swinging forward and back. When we're swinging forward and back, we're kind of just pulling our feet forward from the front versus pushing from the backside to actually find those calves. Knees should stay at a soft bend throughout. If you want to get more of your soleus and kind of deeper calf, you can have a more extreme knee bend and then maintaining that as you do the movement. Then we want to think about if that's too hard to come straight up and down or our range is limited because of weakness, we can come on a bit of an incline where I'm leaning into the wall. I'm going to get a little bit more of a stretch in my calves here. If it's too much, you can always elevate those heels onto something to take away that stretch. But then here, now I'm not working quite as much against gravity, but I can still focus on this straight line coming up and down, keeping that same knee angle versus trying to bring myself up like that. Then what we can pay attention to is when we're here, wherever we are, sometimes we can have that tendency to already be kind of rolled to the inside of our heel. So we can use the band to think about rolling to the outside of the heel, making sure the base of that big toe stays down so you're not just using your side leg muscles, but actually using the intrinsic arch to be able to help lift that arch there. So you're focusing on keeping the base of your big toe down. You're going to keep the base of that big toe down, keep that roll out so you kind of feel more centered in the middle of your heel to start with. And then you're going to keep that as you press to come up, feeling that arch lift, and the heel should kind of hook in just a pinch without rolling to your pinky toe side. And then you're going to slowly lower down, making sure you land again on the centered part of your heel. You're making sure that as you come down, you don't lengthen through the arch first, but are able to maintain that arch to get the length more so from the calf. If you need a little help, making sure you stay accountable on the base of that big toe, you can always put a little something underneath there just to bring that awareness and focusing on this coming straight up, equal weight through big toe and pinky toe, and then lowering straight down, centering down in the center of that calf, not letting those feet turn or roll in. So in the end, you should feel your arches working and your calves working, knowing too that if you've maybe worked an area that hasn't really worked in a while, that rolling your arch out on a ball can be really helpful beforehand, and then also rolling it out afterwards. So you're kind of helping with the mobility work and waking up that tissue so that it can actually function, and then tying it into the gait. The other part with it too is thinking about how a joint and muscles need the movement option of a full range to be able to be stimulated and work. So maybe you also need to do a little bit of midfoot work first to then be able to actively strengthen it. But it's all about building upon those layers to help you have a full, happy, functioning foot.